Welcome everyone to the June regular meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. I'm going to ask that Mr. Sear, who's here, Bagel, please call.
Gary Callahan.
Here.
We'll note that Mr. Callahan is appearing remotely from his villa up in Vermont.
I don't know about that, but
Chalet.
The chalet.
house, little house.
Chris Cloud.
Here.
Kate Grady Benson.
Here.
Liz Gemsky.
Here.
John Schoenhorn.
Here.
Steve Walsh.
Here.
Peter
Here.
And Marianne Tessatora.
Here.
And Rita Subramanian.
Subramanian. Is she not on? She often zooms in here, so. Okay. All right, there's one item for a public hearing. It's my understanding that the second matter has been withdrawn as of today. Is that correct, Mr. Sear?
Yes.
So the public notice by the secretary only needs to mention the first public hearing.
Town of Farmington Zoning Board of Appeals notice is hereby given that the Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a hybrid in-person and online public hearing Monday, June 16th, at 7 p.m. in the Town Hall Council Chambers on the following application. Andrew and Carolyn Ritchie, application for variance to reduce the side yard setback from 40 feet to 17 feet to construct an attached garage and mudroom on an existing single-family home at 3 Poplar Hill Road, R80 zone. Interested parties are encouraged to participate in this hybrid public hearing. It's the preference of the board that participation be in person. Link to this meeting may be found on the Town of Farmington's website. A copy of this proposal available online or by calling the Planning Department at Farmington Town Hall at 860-675-2325, dated at Farmington, Connecticut, May 23rd, 2025. Farmington Zoning Board of Appeals, John Schoenhorn, Chairman.
And just for the record, there was a tone during the reading of the notice. Has someone else joined us?
Yes. Commissioner Subramanian
Is also present remotely. Okay, good. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So the way we operate with these public hearings, I see that we have our applicant here. You're the only person in the room, but I will read the way it works, even if we can pretend whether there are other people here. You make your presentation, you come up either to the table or preferably to the podium. You state your name, your address, what your relationship is to the applicant, if you're not the applicant, and give us a brief discussion about your need for this variance. We have all your paperwork, but we'd like to hear from you on why this is necessary. The board members will ask questions of you, which hopefully you can answer. We have a large number of photographs, and there are some satellite images of your property as well. So if you wouldn't mind coming forward, sir, state your name and address for the record, and then you can make your presentation.
Pretty top heavy podium. Hi, I'm Andrew Ritchie. I live at 3 Poplar Hill Drive. I'd like to thank you for your time tonight and your consideration in reviewing this request. I think that was it. So yeah, requesting a total variance of 23 feet on the side yard to reduce the setback from 40 feet to 17 feet. Jumping right into the survey that was completed on the property with the proposed addition. Facing the house from the road, it is to the left, and the proposed driveway as well. So the reason for the proposed addition is level access to the first floor of the home, and the hardship letter which I provided the hardship topic is topography. It can't be put anywhere else to have access from where you park to the main level of the home being level, like not using any sort of stairs or any steps up to the front door. So the current driveway is to the right, and the proposal would be to the left. You can keep scrolling. One thing we may have jumped past, and it was at the beginning, I apologize, but I did talk to my neighbor at 11 Poplar Hill, who this would be most impacting. They're completely fine with it. They said they'd like to basically not clear cut, and have the 2 yards. You'd lose the separation between the 2 yards. So we agreed, take down as few trees as possible during the project, and if there's any large bare spots, to fill them in with some sort of vegetation or plant new trees. But no problem there. We can get into more pictures if you'd like. Oh yeah, yes, thank you. So we have a layout right here, not a formal plan, but for the purposes of this meeting, the existing house is to the left. There is a door there already leading into what I was told was once a screened-in porch. It was pretty walled up when I moved in, but that would become, there'd be some renovations, but that would become a mudroom, and then the garage would be right off that. So 24 feet across the front of the garage, but 32 feet total from the existing house. We can go to the next one, that'd be great. So this is not exactly what it'll look like, but I did get some 3D software for free and started playing around just to depict what this would kind of look like. And the big reason, going back to main level access from the garage, my wife, who's not here tonight, she's taking care of our toddler at home. She's also expecting our second one come January. A basement garage is not easy with the staircase, with the little one in and out all the time. We also have elderly or parents who are getting elderly that are often over visiting their grandkid, and it's also not the easiest. On a not so personal note, I know that's personal, and we can't make decisions based on personal issues. We believe it was the intention when they were putting up this neighborhood and additions to the neighborhood to have access to the first floor from where you park. Every other house in the neighborhood on Poplar Hill and every house on Farmington Ridge, a similar neighborhood, has that access, first floor access from the garage. We can keep going to more pictures. So it would be a handful of trees. I know Bruce was out today, and Garrett was previously out there, I think last week or maybe the week before. There are definitely some big trees on the property. Some of them are larger, but I don't think it'd be, I don't have a firm count, but it's less than 10 trees to clear out for this project. You can keep going if we can look at more pictures. This is, like I said, this is the only spot because of the topography of the property that it would work. If there's anything I'm missing, I can open it up to questions, comments, anything that I can answer. Be happy to go over. We have a bunch of pictures. Thank you to Bruce.
Chairman,
Well, everyone's going to get a chance. Do you want to do it right now? Because I was going to go in some order. Right. I want to open it up to the commissioners, and we'll start with those that are here remotely. Commissioner Callahan, do you have any questions?
One question, what's going to happen to the currently existing garage space?
The plan right now is to leave it as is for additional storage. That's
But it's
about
not
it.
going to affect the footprint of the house or anything like that?
No, sir. No, it's not intended to become additional living space.
All right, I don't have anything further.
Commissioner Subramanian,
Not at this moment.
Commissioner Master Batista,
I don't have any questions at this.
Commissioner De Santoro,
No questions.
Commissioner Walsh, no questions. Commissioner Dembski,
Just going back to the existing garage and the driveway, I'm assuming you're not looping the driveway around from the other side.
No, that's not the plan.
So you're gonna fill it in with grass or something, or are you gonna keep the other driveway? You're gonna have two driveways, or how will that?
The driveway's in pretty good shape. The plan right now would be to just keep the two existing driveways, not connect them, not fill the old one in.
So
Commissioner Clement.
that's a semicircle. I'm having a hard time with it. Can you go?
Oh, I'm
back a
sorry.
little bit, Bruce? So
The front of the house.
normally
go
you're
back
going
to
to the
site.
right. You're going to the right, right? So when you move it to the left, how will you then access the driveway? That's the part I know.
Yeah, so currently basement garage where the cursor is.
Yeah.
The driveway leads out. The proposal is an additional driveway. On
So
the
you're
other side,
creating a new driveway.
creating a new driveway.
Okay. That was-
Any other questions?
No.
Commissioner Grady Benson,
So you said that you are going to be taking out some trees. I saw a couple of mature trees. Do you have a count of the trees? I know the town went out there, but you said a handful, but do you have a better number?
It'd be between 5 and 10. I was talking with Garrett and Bruce about, the next steps here. And they said, if approved, that would be formalized in the site plan approval for exactly how many and exactly what is allowed to be taken out and not. So we have more pictures we could look at. Bruce took pictures of, I think it was 6 trees that you took pictures and indicated that these would need to come out.
And Chair, just to clear up, what he's talking about is if this is approved, it will go to planning and zoning under the ridgeline protection application. So he has a second application. That's where they get into what trees are cut and where.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
is that, I missed what, is that because it's in the
Ridgeline protection.
ridgeline protection?
Oh, it is in the ridgeline?
Yeah.
It's in the ridgeline?
Yes. it
That
is.
area?
It is in the ridgeline protection. So this were some pictures I taken today to get an understanding of what trees are being cut. So foundation roughly here, this is where that's gonna end, so you're probably gonna lose 1, 2, and the third tree here. So tree here, 2, 3, at least 4 just for the garage. And up front, we've got 5, 6, and then if the driveway comes straight through, then you're probably talking another 2, so you're talking 8 trees possibly.
Yeah, and I believe, so the majority of it is in between 100 and 150 feet. I know 150 feet is the official setback. I think there's a couple trees that are just outside that, but 6, 8, somewhere between 5 to 10 trees.
Let me ask you a couple of questions then. The little extension there that looks like a shed that maybe you were referring to as a breezeway, you want to leave that and not put the garage where that is. You want to leave that as a space between the house, sort of as an extra area, create a enclosed breezeway and have the garage, 2-car garage be further to the side of that, correct?
Correct. The existing, it was a screened-in porch. I'm not sure what to call it now, some sort of porch.
There's
is
the screens.
I
It looks like a
when
shed.
we bought the house, it said it was a screened-in porch. It's a screened-in porch with walls and no screen. It's a fully walled porch. It is wider than the proposed mudroom would be, and the footprint isn't exactly the same. So it would, I assume, be a lot easier to take the whole thing down and start building off the wall of the existing house. So that would all be removed, but for the purposes of visualization, yes, it would look similar. It would be narrower by about 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet. And then, yes, the 2-car would be to the left of it.
And now does that door that is on that right there, does that go into the house if you go in there, or is it a completely separate like structure that you can only enter from the outside?
It does go into the house.
It does.
Yeah, there is a door. You walk in there, and then directly to your right, there's a door to the kitchen.
And that AI created diagram, it made it look like the roof of your new garage would be higher than your house roof. Is that true?
That is not the intent. No. It was meant for purely visualization, and it might be the angle that I took the screenshot of. It is not intended to be higher than the roof of the existing house.
You have actual like architectural plans that show what the height of that, the midpoint of that roof is going to be?
Not quite yet. Again, I was talking with Bruce and Garrett, and some of the expenses that come up during the, this whole project. One is the survey. That's what you need to start the process. If approved, the next step would be the site approval plan, and then formal plans for a building permit that would have all that data. But again, the intent is not to be higher. I do want to be lower than the existing house.
Right. And according to your neighbors' concerns, they were concerned about the removal of trees, right? And we're talking now about as many as 8 mature trees that have to be removed. Can you address, how are you going to address that, your neighbor's concern?
Sure. So yes, my neighbor, talked to him, gave him all these plans.
Did you know how many trees were going to have to come down?
Yes, I gave him the survey. I gave him the AI model, the footprint. We talked about these trees. His concern was during construction, it's obviously easier if there's nothing around you. The concern was we don't want to clear cut in between both our yards where there's no distinction. I did talk about those 2 big oaks that are by the road. I talked about there's one that's pretty dead, is coming down, but that's just one. Yeah, his just didn't want completely open space. Was his main concern. Their main concern.
All right. And could you just articulate a little bit for us the hardship? I mean, I understand what you're saying about having 2 little kids and having to go into a garage and go up some stairs. But you also recognized, I think, by your own statement that your personal issues, we can't consider that. The hardship has to be with the topography or something with the land that makes your issues unique. So could you explain in a little bit more detail? If we could have the pictures showing the current 2-car garage from the side there, from the driveway, you put that picture up. Yeah, let's start with that. Explain, if you will, and again, it might just be the way these pictures were taken, but why would you not be able to extend the garage to the right of this image? So you would have, and you're saying you want to have 4-car garage, basically, right?
Yes.
Why you couldn't extend it to in the direction of where that same direction as where that garden is in the foreground, but
Absolutely.
where the flagpole is, I guess.
Yep. So yeah, to your point, I refrained from putting anything personal in the official hardship letter that I submitted. I just wanted to give a little bit more context in person. The hardship of topography to complete this project the way, to gain access, level access to the first floor of the house. This was the only spot that we could complete it, and that's why we're requesting the variance. So above the garage doors is the main level of the house. That's a bedroom. That's on the first floor. That's level with the front door. That's level with the kitchen that extends to the left of the property. If you're looking at it from the road, the part that's in question, extending it to the right, while physically possible, and we could pull up the site plan again, I believe it would be within all the setbacks. It doesn't give us the level access to the first floor. It would still be in the basement technically. And then it would still be a staircase up. So like,
It's okay.
All right. Thank you.
yeah, so this is a good image of the topography. So front door is to the right of the big, I guess right over the rock that's in the center of the image. So the car and the garages are in the basement on the right.
And the need for, what, you haven't explained, what is the need for a 4-car garage? I mean, not that many people have 4-car, I have a 3-car garage, but you know, what's the need for a 4th bay?
It's a good question. The need for the 4th bay would be room to grow. There is no matter what we did over there, we would need a variance. Asking for, so what would it be, -8, asking for 15, 16 feet of variance versus 23 feet of variance. In my opinion, or I mean, in my thought process was that wasn't going to be the potential reason that this didn't get approved. So open to other considerations, but the need is room to grow.
You said that you would need a separate variance anyway. Why would you need a variance if you went back, like directly from the roadway back behind the 2 garages? So it would be a third or even 4th garage in the same side of the house. What would be the variance you would need?
Oh, I'm sorry. When you said the 3rd bay, the 3rd versus 4th bay.
No, I mean on the other side.
Oh, okay. So the other side, it just doesn't solve the problem of level access to the first floor.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? So the little porch,
Mhm.
I know you're going to take it off and then you're rebuilding it. Have you thought about the possibility of not rebuilding that and having the garage come off the house? So that you gain, how many feet? What's the width of that structure?
Yeah, so if you go down 1, so it'd be 8 feet. Would be the width of the proposed mudroom. That a lot of that right now is occupied by the porch. So it would be 8 feet less. So then we're down to 15 feet of variance instead of 23 feet of variance.
And potentially fewer trees taken down, or no?
Could get that. Didn't consider exactly that. So 1 or 2 or 3 less, something like that. I don't have exact.
That'd be a little difficult because I think if you move it out to here, you're still gonna have, the height, you're still gonna be right underneath these trees. I think after you get done, trees are gonna be right on top of the garage.
Yeah.
Did you finish your answer, Mr. Seer?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yes, I just said that, I think if you do put this in, shorten this up a little bit, get rid of this and come 24 feet up here, you're still gonna be right underneath these tree branches. So I think,
So the same trees would have to come down no matter what.
yeah, I think so.
All right, does anyone else?
Yeah, I got one. So potentially you're gonna try everything in your power to minimize removing as much green, trees, hedging, whatever's in there during this application.
Yes,
Correct? That would be your end game between you and your neighbor.
Yep.
And some beautiful mature trees. As sad as that might be to have to lose some, you need to do that to put this structure up. Correct? But you're going to minimize as much as possible.
yes,
Okay, so you could give the board at least your best effort to minimize the amount of trees with the assistance of the town
absolutely,
staff on that, correct?
absolutely.
I wouldn't minimize losing your mudroom because probably every single one of us at this table has a mudroom. So I don't think he should have to lose his mudroom here also. So that's what I have to say. And then probably I'm going to read between the lines here. Your existing garage, maybe in the future, you would turn that into living space potentially.
I mean, it is an option, but I am being truthful when I say we don't have any plans for that.
Okay, I'm just saying in the future, just that. And then maybe that other driveway would go away potentially.
It is possible.
Okay, that's how I see a young family taking on a project like this. So the bulk of my question is you're gonna do everything in your power to minimize removing trees and keeping that buffer between your neighbor.
Yes.
Excellent.
So help clarify for me, you talked once about adding this new two-car garage to give the first floor access, which I understand. The basement, the current parking location is gonna be space, extra storage space, you said, correct?
Yes.
Where does the four-car garage then come in? Where are you gonna build that eventually? I know it's not in this current plan. but
There's no
talk
four.
about
So yeah,
four cars.
I think when John was referring to that, it'd be 4 total garage doors,
Two on the right.
four total.
They don't
So
go
you wanna
away.
use that space, storage space. So you're leaving the option open to use that as car park space as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any of these questions lead to any other questions immediately from the board? Including Mr. Callahan and Ms. Subramanian? Any
No.
questions? All right, then we'll open it up since this is a hybrid meeting. Is there anyone online who wishes to speak either in favor or in opposition to the application? Mr. Chair, are there any other persons present for this meeting? Not even Mr. Daigle.
Mr.
Got
Daigle,
his
not on
hands
there.
full.
The applicant's wife is on, if she'd like to chime in and support or against, I'm not sure. So,
Well, she's certainly welcome to speak if she wishes to, so I'll indicate that you should raise the digital icon, hand raised icon if you wish to speak.
she's all set. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Caroline Ritchie. I'm with my son, so this will be quick, but I just wanted to express support for the variance and appreciate all of your time in considering it.
Thank you. All right, so is that the only online additional person noted?
That was it, Chair.
All right, so in that case, I'm going to close the public hearing and you can have a seat at this point. And
Thanks for your time.
I'm going to entertain a motion reminding the board that whatever the personal view is, the motion, the itself has to be articulated in the affirmative. So I'll entertain a motion from members of the board.
Okay. I make a motion that we approve the application for variance from Andrew and Caroline Ritchie to reduce the yard setback from 40 feet, 17 feet to construct an attached garage and mudroom on the existing single-family home at 3 Poplar Hill Road, R.
Commissioner Platt, a second discussion. And I'm just going to take the privilege of the chair to speak first. I'm concerned that I see that, although I understand the concerns that have been raised, but I see this as a personal hardship rather than a land hardship, and therefore I'm having a hard time finding that this meets our standards for variance. So that's my current view, but I'm open to hearing from other members of the board on their views. So.
I would agree with you, actually. There's a garage in place, and yes, there are stairs. I understand that, but, and I also do think that removal of mature trees is a big deal. And I think if something could change to not have to do that, it would make it look a little bit more appealing to me, but I would agree with you, John.
Commissioner Gensky, was your motion? If you want to say anything?
I'm honestly torn. I'm not sure where I'm coming down, quite honestly, right now. I understand the concern about having first floor access. Obviously, that's, you know, if someone in a wheelchair could use that to get into the house. So looking at that aspect of things, I think would be important. But is it a hardship? Understand the not to develop on the other side because of the lack of the first floor. It's like a split level, it seems like. On the other side where you would go in is not the first floor, so I'm split.
Are there any physical disabilities or concerns that your family?
You can't, the hearing is closed, so we cannot take any additional information.
Then I'll ask the group. Are there any considerations around physical disability that we should factor in?
I mean, I think you could say that about any structure. Do you make every structure accessible in case in 10 years, 5 years? So that's kind of a in case. We don't know that.
We don't, and it's not a public building, right?
Right.
So does it need to be?
Is that before we want to say anything?
No, I'm here. I'm next.
Well, we have to have a vote.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask Mr. Sear to call well, before he does, I'm just going to say that the size of the project and its reasons are what concerns me. A different application, either a smaller footprint or some other change, might change my mind, but I'm concerned that I can't see this particular proposal meeting the requirements. By laws, we're supposed to consider only the statute, what the things we can consider for hardship. And therefore, I'm only looking at what has been presented. So I would not foreclose a different proposal. But having said that, I'm going to have Mr. Sear call the vote.
Mr. Chair,
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Well, I thought Mr. Cowan, do you wish to speak?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
I did forget, but I know that he could have chimed in. I didn't have to call in anybody for that, so. All right, let's have a roll call vote. And it's again, just the regular commissioners, not the alternates that can vote on this.
Commissioner Callahan,
Aye.
Commissioner Cloud,
Aye.
Commissioner Benson,
Nay.
Commissioner Gemsky.
My pass right now.
We can pass, we'll come back to
Commissioner Schoenhorn,
nay.
Commissioner Walsh,
Aye.
What happens if things?
Go back, go back.
I've only got 3. You need 4 for approval.
And just, you know, if you abstain or I don't know, I don't want to suggest. You're not required to vote yea or nay, but requires 4 affirmative votes to approve.
I mean.
Well, you're certainly within the rights to abstain if you wish, but it would.
Council's leading the witness.
Okay, I'm gonna go with my gut. My gut is no. So
So that's 3 yeas and 3 nays. Does not pass.
So the motion fails. Okay. The only other item on today's agenda is the approval of the minutes. So I'll entertain a motion with regard to the minutes from last meeting.
Move to approve.
Second. We can do this, I think, on a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, so the minutes are approved. Mr. Sierra, are you aware of whether there are any pending applications for July?
None at this time.
So at this time, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn and hope everyone has a nice month. You're traveling, right? You'll be traveling.
yeah. So you can join. me.
You could join from, I don't know, Kentucky or Kansas, wherever you will be, so. All right, motion to adjourn,
Motion to adjourn.
second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, meeting's adjourned.